Hello everyone, a very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am back again with a wonderful session of IELTS Practice Test, where again I am back with the reading passage 3 and again a new question type which is going to be fill in the blanks for you. So yesterday, in my yesterday session, I have dealt with yes, no, not given. I hope you guys have seen it and I hope you have learned something for it, and I hope that all the questions that are there in your mind has been gone because I tried to explain it quite nicely to you. Okay, and even if it is not the case, please let me know. I don't have any problem in explaining again, right? So now be quick and let me know that you guys are here, and so that we can start up with the session. Okay, very good afternoon to one and all present over here. Jaldi aa jao so that I can start up the session. And we've got a lot on our plate today, so we have to do a lot of reading today. We have to do a lot of question solving today. So let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what are the topics I'll be covering. Okay, hi Sumit, very good afternoon. How are you? Hi Sharda, very good afternoon. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Okay. So today reading fill in the blanks I'll be covering. Also with this I'll be covering format. What is the format that you need to cater to at the time of solving this question type? Next is the solution and definitely the answers, right? These are the things that I'll be covering. Now without wasting any further time, let's get started. So what is a fill in the blanks? Majorly, when I say fill in the blanks in reading module or reading question type, it's really very important that you should be aware of like what kind of questions you are going to encounter at the time of examination. So fill in the blanks you can encounter in various ways. Like it's not only just a normal fill in the blanks, you can encounter it like table completion, summary completion, note completion. These are also going to be the question that you can encounter at the time of dealing with the reading module, right? So be ready. The fill in the blanks can come through various ways to you, and it's always going to be easy because fill in the blanks is something that's very easy to find. It's just that you need to know what part of the paragraph the writer is trying to talk about. Okay, ma'am, sorry I was not able to join your classes for last 2 sessions due to college and some editing work. Okay, Sumit, that's okay. That's fine. No worries. You can attend it now, and also you can have a quick look to the recording sessions if you want to. Okay. Now, so let me just get started with the fill in the blanks. So the very first thing I would like to let you know that in IELTS reading section, fill in the blanks also known as sentence completion or summary completion. Okay. So sentence completion is basically, there are going to be some sentences which you need to complete by filling the words. Now, you are going to have the instructions that how many words you are allowed to, use. So you are going to get the instructions as well. As always, that I usually say that read the instructions before going ahead with the responses. Be familiar with the question, and that will definitely eventually going to help you in order to be familiar with the entire passage. Okay, and also only focus on that part of knowledge, only focus on that part of the passage or that part of the question which is going to be helpful to you. Noted. Now let's move ahead and let's talk about the further aspects of this fill in the blanks question type. Now, if I'm going to talk about that, it is a common task type where candidates are required to complete the sentence or summaries using words taken from the reading passage. Okay, majorly what happens, you need to take the exact word from the passage and you have to fill it in the sentence. Okay, so there are a lot of thing that goes with this, and there are a lot of rules that goes with it. Definitely, I would like to say. Also, one thing I would like to remind you again, that while solving papers for reading section, make sure that you are not going to get any additional time, you're not going to get any extra time. Whatever time you have, which is the 60 minute, in that 60 minute, make sure you allocate it in a certain manner that's going to be very helpful to you. Okay, so just like if you guys are already aware of that, we're going to get 3 passages. Okay, so what you can do is, majorly what you can do is, for the first passage, this is just a reminder I'm going to give you so that you get to know. First passage you can allocate 15 minutes. Okay. Second passage, you can allocate 20 minutes. And third passage, you can allocate 25 minutes. Right? So this is what I got to know, that majorly first passage is easy, second passage is difficult, like sort of moderate, and third passage is the difficult one. So if you're going to allocate this time amount, or if you're going to allocate your time in this manner, then definitely you'll be able to solve the entire question. Okay, one more thing I would like to say, that don't get stuck to one question type. Make sure you practice a lot, so that you are familiar, you are in habit to solve that difficulty level, or whatever the level you are having. Also, your reading skill matters a lot, your understanding skill at the same time matters a lot. Make sure you focus on them. Okay, very good afternoon, Rahul. Glad to have you over here in the session. I hope the session is going to be very helpful to you. Okay. Now, next, here is the overview of the format. Let me just give you a gist of the format. Okay. First of all, instructions, word limit. The instructions will clearly state how many words you are allowed to use. For example, it may say use no more than 2 words. So as I have already told you, majorly in majority of the question type, where you need to fill in the details on your own, there the instructions are already mentioned, the instructions are already given, that you can use this word no more than, or use one word only, no more than 2 words, no more than 3 words. Majorly the word limit are max to max, they are going to give you like 3 words. Okay, and you know what you need to do, right? So for example, no more than 2 words from the passage. So if they have asked you to use 2 words, so you can use 2 words. Also, you can use 1 word as well. So you can use the word that is being word limit that is being given to you, and also you can use less than that. But make sure don't use more than that. If you're gonna write more words, okay, wait, 2 words. So if the limit is of 2 words, you can write 2 words and 1 word. If the limit is of 3 words, you can write 3 words, 2 words, and 1 word. Got it? Clear? Now, sorted? Now, let's move ahead. Write 1 word only for each answer. Synonyms and paraphrasing. The wording in the question is usually paraphrased from the passage. So, understanding synonyms and how the information is presented is crucial. Synonyms and paraphrasing and distractors are definitely very common in IELTS examination, irrespective of the module, whether you're dealing with the listening module or the reading or the writing or maybe speaking. So, whatever the module you're dealing with, be ready for the paraphrasing, be ready for the synonyms to be used, be ready for the distractors, because yes, these things are going to be there. There is no surprise, and you should not be be surprised that paraphrasing is there or severe paraphrasing is there. It is going to be there. Okay, so be ready for it in the initial stage only. Now, so yes, this is all about the fill in the blanks. What you need to do, the very first thing is you need to read the question, you need to read the instructions. Also, you're going to mark the keywords, and once you are familiar with the question, then you're going to get back to the passage, do all kind of strategies, apply all kind of strategies. For example, skimming, scanning, if required, POE strategy. Though in fill in the blanks, POE is not going to work because you're not going to get an option over there, right? So apply the strategies and then solve the questions that are there. Let's get started and let's execute all the things that I have told you as of now. ठीक है? चलो, सबसे पहले क्या कर लेंगे? सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन पढ़ लेंगे. Let's understand the question and let's see what are there, what things are there that we need to take in consideration too. Okay. First of all, I have already told you that what you need to do, instructions are very important. So you're going to read the instructions first. Okay. First instructions, then you're going to read the question. Okay, then you're going to mark the questions. Then, after that, and be very concentrated, right? Okay, when I say concentrated, I actually mean concentrated because, I know there are going to be a lot of things, there are going to be a lot of scenario where you think that, okay, where you can get confused even though the detail is mentioned over there in the passage. I know that's going to happen. So this is the thing, this is a reminder for you. Read each and every word carefully. And the question is already filtered. The question already contains the relevant piece of information. You cannot ignore anything in the question. You can definitely ignore things on the passage because they are going to be relevant and irrelevant content at the same time. You need to know how to allocate the paragraph and how to go ahead with that. But if I talk about the question, then the questions are very sorted, very filtered. So that's really very important for you to make sure you take questions into consideration and read each and every word carefully and look for what is being asked so that you are able to answer correctly. That's how you're going to ensure your accuracy. Got it? Now, let's read it. Question number 21 to 24. Complete the summary below. Choose one word only from the passage for each answer. Write your answers in the boxes 21 to 24 in your answer sheet. What's written? One word only. So it means we can only use one word. No numbers, no additional words for that. Now, for example, got it, Sumit? Great, amazing. So, for example, if you're going to write additional numbers or if you're going to write additional words or if you're going to make spelling mistakes, your marks will be deducted. And that's for sure because you're going out of the instructions, whatever the instructions has been given to you, whatever the instructions are being given to you, you are not catering to that and you're going out of the way. So, definitely your marks had to be deducted irrespective of whether your response is correct or not. So, if you're going to go out of the context, then definitely your bands will be deducted. Ma'am, I have a question. Yes, sure. Come up with your question. You don't need to ask me. Fine. Now, Jade Diamond's view. This is the topic of the question, definitely. Now, Diamond believes that Polynesian settlers. Now, diamond is definitely, we are not talking about the, crystal. We are talking about a person whose name, whose name is Diamond, or Diamond may be the part of his name. Okay. Diamond believes that Polynesian settlers, now Polynesian settler is a word that cannot be rephrased or reworded or paraphrased, right? Now, on Rapa Nui, okay, Rapa Nui can be the name of the place, destroyed its forest. Okay, Diamond believes that Polynesian settlers on Rapa Nui destroyed its forest, cutting down its trees for what? Fuel and clearing land for dash. Okay, now here it can be anything. Okay, they might be in examination question is written, write an essay in 100 words or something, then why do we have to write whole two or three pages? Is it necessary? Good afternoon, Anurag. It depends. Like if 100 words, if the word, okay, so basically, first of all, word limit is being given to you so that you don't end up writing something which is irrelevant in nature. And you have to make sure that whatever intentions or whatever content you want to deliver, you can deliver in a very concise amount of words, right? First of all, this is the reason for your organization or your college or anyone to come up with a word limit first. Second, if I'm going to talk about that, you are going to write 2 to 3 pages. It's not like that. If you're writing, so you are always being given a minimum word limit. It means minimum it has to be 100 word, maximum it is totally your take how much you gonna elaborate it or how much you want, how you are willing to expand it, right? So it's important for you to make sure that you do not write irrelevant portion. It's not necessary to write 2 to 3 pages in 100 words. It's just that the moment you know that okay, you have covered all the relevant topic that the question is asking from you, that's the end of the answer. That's where you need to know that you need to end your response, right? So it's not required. Ma'am, sometimes they do not give any option and fill in the blanks and also give the question from outside. So in such case, how do I fill in the blanks? Okay. Sometimes they do not give any option. Say in IELTS, if you're talking from an IELTS perspective, you're not going to get an option. In IELTS, they barely give you options in order to come up with the response. And even if they're giving you the options, then the options are not going to be with respect to the question. For example, if the questions, if you have to answer 5 questions, there are not going to be 5 options, there are going to be 10 options, right? So it's always, they're always there to distract you, they're always there to check how good you are at language proficiency, they're always there to check your grip on the language. So take your decision wisely while writing a response, okay? But teachers in college say that try 2 to 3 pages, they'll not give me marks. I think they have some type of grudge against me. No teacher has grudge against any of the students. So if they are asking you, there might be possibility, they might be willing to have that answer. So if they're asking, then go for it. Then if the teacher is demanding, then go for it. Then there is not any kind of, second thought. Now, let's move to the question. Okay, again, done with this. Okay, so Diamond, a person, believes that Polynesian settlers may be the, is going to be maybe the name of the community or something, on Rapa Nui destroyed its forest. They used to destroy their forest, cutting down its trees for fuel. So very first reason why they used to cut down the trees is for fuel. The second reason is going to be mentioned over here, that we are going to get it from the passage. Ma'am, let it be continued on topic. Yes, sure, please. 20th century discoveries of pollen prove. What kind of discoveries? When the discovery was made, 20th century discoveries of pollen proved that Rapa Nui had once been covered in palm forest. Okay, once been covered in palm forest, which has turned into grassland by the time the Europeans arrived. Who arrived? Europeans arrived on the island. Okay. When the islanders were no longer able to build the dash. So basically what they are saying that 20th century में जो discoveries हुई थी of pollen, वो ये prove करता है कि Rapa Nui, which is a place, had once been covered, एक बार ऐसा हुआ था कि it was once covered with palm forest, which has turned into grassland. वो palm forest से cover हो गया था, to which it turned out to be a grassland by the time, till the time के लिए जब तक यूरोपियंस आए on the island. Okay, फिर when the islanders were no longer be able to build certain thing, कुछ build करना था वो build नहीं कर पा रहे थे, they needed to go for fishing. अच्छा, they need to build something जो उनको help करता था fishing करने के लिए, ठीक है? So उन्होंने क्या किया कि वो, क्योंकि वो build नहीं कर पा रहे थे, they began using, उन्होंने शुरू किया use करना क्या, island का कुछ as a food source. Okay, so because they were not able to go for fishing, तो उन्होंने island का कुछ एक portion होगा, ecosystem का कुछ एक part होगा, that they have started using as a food source because they were not able to go for fishing, क्योंकि वो maybe it's going to be a boat or something. Okay, according to Diamond, now again according to Diamond also claims that the Moai were built to show the power of island chieftains, and that the methods of transporting the statues needed not only a great number of people. So वो जो मेथड्स होते थे, जो स्टैचूज को शिप करने के जो मेथड्स होते थे, वो ना ही सिर्फ ग्रेट अमाउंट ऑफ पीपल रिक्वायर करते थे, बिकॉज इन ऑर्डर टू शिप दैट थिंग इट इज नॉट ओनली रिक्वायर्ड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल बट ऑल्सो अ ग्रेट डील ऑफ डैश. So you're going to get all the information in the passage. So far I hope you guys have got how the question is being framed and what is the meaning of the question. Okay, so यहाँ पे हमें ये सारी चीजों को ढूंढना है. Okay, so now when you have read the question, when you have understood the question, very good afternoon Anjali, now you are going to look for it into the passage. ठीक है, अब चलो passage पढ़ लेते हैं जल्दी से. Now, here is the passage. What destroyed the civilization of Easter Island? This is the topic of the passage. Now, this is the first passage. See, because this is the second passage. So, definitely, majorly 21 to 24. these kind of answers you're going to receive somewhat through second para, second, third, fourth para. This is going to be the frame where you're going to receive the answers. But still, I'm going to read it just for you to get the gist of the topic that we are talking about. Okay, chalo. Easter Island on Rapa Nui, as it is known locally, is a home to several hundred ancient human statues. Acha, now we got it. So the statues that they were talking about in question, it was about this. So what it is, Easter Island or Rapa Nui. So Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, commonly it was known locally, okay, is a home to several hundred ancient human statue, the Moi. Okay, so the ancient human statues, unka naam hota tha the Moi. After this, remote Pacific island was settled by the Polynesians. I told you Polynesian is a name of a category or a name of a region or a community. Okay, it remained isolated for century. Isolated matlab akela, matlab abandoned, khali. Okay, isolated for centuries. All the energy and resources that went into the Moi, some of them which are 10 meters tall and weight over 7,000 kilos. It means there were some statues which were 10 meters tall and they used to weight like 7,000 kilos, came from island itself. Yet when Dutch explorer landed in 1722, when they landed 1722, they met a Stone Age culture. So when the Dutch landed into that island, they met a Stone Age culture. The Moai were carved with stone tools. Okay, so how those statues were used to carved? They used to carved with stone tools, then transported for many kilometers without the use of animal or wheels to massive stone platforms. So they used to shift, they used to travel, or they used to transport that statues to major kilometers, many kilometers, without the use of animal or wheels. A major statue or so a major stone platform pe unhe wo statues rakh ke they used to transport it. Okay, the identity of Moi builders were in doubt until well into the 20th century. We've got this in questions, right? 20th century. Thor Heyerdahl, the Norwegian ethnographer and adventurer, thought the statues had been created by pre-Inca peoples from Peru. Best-selling Swiss author Erich von Däniken believed they were built by stranded extraterrestrials. Modern science, linguistic, archaeological and genetic evidence has definitively proved the Moi builders were Polynesians. So basically, to all the peoples who landed into the island, they thought they were built by some or the other person, but yes, it was built by the Polynesians, but not how they moved their creation. Local folklore maintain that the statues walked, while researchers have tended to assume the ancestral drag these statues somehow using ropes and log. Some people figured it out that the statues are moving, but later it is being discovered or believed that the ancestors used to drag the statues using ropes and logs, right? So in this entire paragraph, I didn't get any of the words. So we did have the words like Polynesian, settlers, Rapa Nui. Okay, we did have these words, but definitely it is not relating. Now, if the keywords are matching, it doesn't mean that the meaning will match, right? So you need to look for the keywords first, and once the keywords matches, then you're going to look for the meaning. But because the meaning is not matching, we're going to move ahead to the next paragraph, right? Now here, let's see. Okay, when Europeans arrived, okay, so Europeans arrived, we also got it over here, like, the time the Europeans arrived. Got it? Now, Rapa Nui was grassland. Okay, definitely it's written into there. With only a few screwy trees, in 1970s and 1980s, though researchers found pollen-preserved like lake sediments, which proved the island had been covered in lush palm forest for thousands of years. Only after Polynesian arrived did those forests disappear. US scientist Jared Diamond, now here is where you're going to receive your answers. It's really very important to locate the paragraph first. Definitely you can straight away go to the second paragraph. It's not required for you to read the first one, because I just read it because I wanted to give you a gist of what we are going to deal with. This is the reason I only read it, because if it is not required, then this don't read, move to the second para and straight away focus on the answers, right? You don't need to know about it until unless you have a lot of time left, right? Chalo. Now, believe that Rapa Nui people, descendants of Polynesian settlers, wrecked their own environment. Wrecked means destroyed their own environment. Okay, destroyed their own environment. They had unfortunately settled on extremely fragile island. Fragile means something which is very soft or something which is very vulnerable, something जो बहुत ज़्यादा नाजुक हो, that is what is known as fragile island. Dry, cool and too remote to be properly fertilized by wind-blown volcanic ash. When the islanders cleared the forest, are we getting it? Is clearing land, clearing forest, both means the same. Cleared the forest for firewood. Okay, so they cleared the forest for firewood and farming. Okay, the forest didn't grow back. Now from here to here you're gonna find your response here. You're gonna find your response. Diamond believes that Polynesian settlers on Rapa Nui destroyed its forest by cutting down its trees for fuel. Now here, let's see what can be the response. Okay, clearing land for. So here I can come up with two responses, which is firewood and farming. Okay, these were the two reasons why they cleared the forest, right? But firewood cannot be the response because here firewood is being paraphrased to fuel. Definitely, why do we use firewood? In order to burn fire, in order to use it as a fuel, right? So its fuel is already written. This is the reason I'm going to write farming over here as one of the reasons for them to clear the forest. Clear hai? Okay, now let's move ahead. Now, 20th century discoveries of Poland prove that Rapa Nui had once been covered by palm forest. We have already got it in the first part of the second para. Okay, now the Europeans arrived on the island when the islanders were no longer be able to build the dash. Okay, now let's understand. As trees became scarce, scarce means like बहुत कम. Okay, scarcity means कमी. And they could no longer construct wooden canoes for fishing. They ate birds. Now, again, they were not able to build something that they needed to go for fishing. What they needed to go for fishing? Canoes. They needed canoes to go for fishing, right? They ate birds. Okay, they began using islands. What they began using? They were not able to go for fishing, so they ate birds. So what they started using as a food source? What they started using? Birds. Okay, they ate birds. Soil erosion decreased their crop yield before Europeans arrived. The Rapa Nui had descended into a civil war and cannibalism. He maintains the collapse of their isolated civilization. Diamond Right is a worst case scenario for what may lie ahead of us in our own future. Didn't get it? Okay, fine, done till here. Okay, now let's move ahead. What's the next question? Diamond also claimed that the Moi were built to show the power of island chieftains. We've got it already in our first para, but let's see. And that the method of transporting the statues. Now let's have a quick look over here. Okay, they completed by building ever bigger figures. Diamond think they laid the Moi on wooden sledges. So they used to lay the statues, the wooden statues or the stone statues on a wooden sledge. Wooden sledge is basically boat, a sort of boat, like कभी देखा होगा जो लॉग्स होते हैं ना, वुड के लॉग्स होते हैं, उनको बांध के दे मेक अ craft something sort of. ठीक है, तो it's a normal boat sort of structure without any flags or something like that. They used to make it like that at that time, 20th century, right? What is the meaning of canoes? Canoes is a sort of boat sort of a thing, we have a lot of variety of boat. Honestly speaking, I don't know much about it, but still, like, we have got ships. Ships are like bigger ones, boat are like smaller ones, the wooden boat. And also we have like wooden sledges, like simply logs ko na bandh ke ek saath they make a boat or sort of thing that can be, that can float on water. this is what canoes are also the same. Okay, okay. Hauled over log rails. So this is it's written over here. Wooden sledges hauled over the log rails, but that required both a lot of wood and a lot of people. Here is your response. Okay, so when they used to transport the statue, needed not only great number of people, so it's written over here, they not only required a great number of people, which is also written over here, but also a great deal of woods, which was scarce in that particular region because of cutting down of trees. Got it? Clear? This is the entire answer. I know it's going to be, it might look very easy to you, but yes, it is easy, no doubt on that part if you have a good reading skill. But at the same time, you need to know how paraphrasing is being done, and this is from the Cambridge series 11. Okay, so make sure if you want to have a quick look, you can just have a quick look and look upon to how I have solved it. It's really very important for you to take in consideration the question and then move to the passage. Getting it? This is going to help you in order to ace your fill in the blank section. Got it? Everyone, please let me know. Right? Here are the answers. Though I have already given you the answers, but still just for, just to keep a check, you can refer to them. Okay? Okay. Now, yep, that's all. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks a lot. Thank you, and I hope the session is going to be helpful to you. Make sure you practice a lot, and if you're looking for a book, make sure you practice from the Cambridge series. Okay, and yes, all the very best to all the students who are preparing for their IELTS examination. Bye bye, take care, see you in the next session. Bye.